Ready. Check Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though. That's right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though. That's right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though. I said Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Rewriters Room. We are the men with the pen. We're here. Very, very exciting times. We got a lot to discuss. Mania is coming up. Like we said to open the season, it's a beautiful time to be a wrestling fan. That said, it's the boy Armand. Damn, I always forget what hive I'm representing. I mean, besides Otis, yeah, you already know. I don't got to speak too much on that. Yeah, you got to know the vibes. The in-ring is improving, all that. But I'm just excited for wrestling at this point. The Mania card is stacked. There's a lot going on, and yeah, it's good to be here. How y'all feeling? Shannon, what's up, man?
I would just like to say to my fellow comrades who have been radicalized by the breaking up of the Hurt Business, I see you. I hear you. We are still here. Hurt Business forever. You can kill a liberator, but you can't kill liberation. You can kill a freedom fighter, but you can't kill freedom. You know what I'm saying? So I just want Vince to know that we are still here. We are still strong.
Talk about it. CC, what's up, man? I look forward to this intro every week. I'm ready for it.
What's good is CC, best rapper and producer in the whole wide world. God body because I consume healthy products and do talc curls. Benevolent servant to the earth and philanthropist. And every phrase that I say is a gym like Ambithus. You could put any nigga next to me and dope ass women gonna look at him like, whose man's is this? I may talk a lot, but I only got one thing to say. Love yourself, keep going. You are the world, so give all you can to take care of your body, your people, and your land. Check it, see, nigga. Okay, so racism, we still working on it, right? Like we shall overcome. The shall is like present and future. So like while there are setbacks, it means that it's gonna happen also in the future. So Shannon, we did get a setback, but if you remember the hymn, we shall overcome. Okay, so it's going. I mean, but you know, racism, it still hurts. It still hurts.
It is alive and well, but we're fighting the fight every day. And this week, the three of us are not fighting the fight alone. We have a guest with us. This is my guy. He is the head of social at the A Show RNC. Now, if you see our live tweets for SmackDown and Raw, and you see someone being real hotepish, or you see someone being real ridiculous and like, you know, just saying extremely crazy stuff, going back and forth with meals, this is the man responsible for it. Deon, what's up, man? How you feeling? Koofies and all
what's
that.
up, y'all? What's up, man? We out here. You feel me? Man, it's just a pleasure to be in the Rewriters Room with you guys, man. I'm a fan of y'all show and how you guys just rewrite history. It's so dope, you know. And hey, J5 Mills, you missed out. You missed out on a great guest. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Because they got me first. But nah, man, it's great. Yeah. So if you see 95% of the tweets being sent out is me. Yes, it's 100% me. So you got me to thank for. So yeah, but I'm glad to be on the show, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you, and salute to all the work you're doing, growing the platform, sharing our shows, being hilarious on the timeline. There's always something funny every day from the A Show RNC account. So keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey man, I just try to not take it too serious, man. Some of these neckbeards take wrestling too serious. So I gotta make sure I bring the fun and everything, because some of y'all neckbeards, y'all taking it to a whole nother level, man. But that's another story for another day. But
neckbeard is crazy. I've never heard the marks referred to as neckbeards, but now I'm about to only call them neckbeards now. Like we got
might as well, bro.
But you know, it's an exciting time with Deon here. It's an exciting time with Mania Week, but it's also an exciting time for the A Show RNC channel. We are officially on Patreon. There is exclusive content provided to you all in various tiers based on what tier you select. there's anything from being able to add to our hot takes discussions, or let us know what spot callers should watch. There's opportunities to contribute topics for or contribute wrestlers to the A list that we're putting out. So various tiers, various things that you will have access to through the Patreon system. We will have a full graphic with details for you. So shout out to everyone who's been supporting so far, and thank you to everyone who is planning to, you know, put some coins in our pockets so we can ultimately make these shows and the network better for you all. But this is the Patreon era. This is not the PC era. This is not the Thunderdome era. This is the Patreon era, and Rewriters Room is kicking it off, which is really, really exciting for us. So yeah, we got a very fun show for y'all. A lot of things to discuss, but we're going to get into our pre-write, some current analysis of some WWE storylines. So let's start with our guest. Deon, what's a current storyline that you're really feeling right now?
Listen, man, it's not even the current storyline. It's the best storyline in WWE right now. I would say besides maybe or in the Fiend, but that's kind of mixy sometimes. But we're talking about a built storyline that has been culminated to this point. Is Big E versus Apollo Crews. Now we all know that Big E, you know, won the championship in Christmas Day. What a great day to just win the championship in Christmas. And you know, if you remember watching that match, Apollo, I wouldn't say helped him, but you know, he gave him a little assist. So due to that assist, he felt like he was due for a title shot. And obviously Apollo lost. And every time Apollo would face Big E, he would lose, whether it was in a singles match and a triple threat match. And Big E was at a point where he was like, yo, bro, you need to go back to catering. Now, I don't know what it is by that word catering, but that's a trigger word for some wrestlers. Going back to catering, boy, I'm have to pull the heater on.
That's disrespecting another grown man's whole life.
That's this. Anyways, but so like I was saying, I feel like you know, and just how they built it up to that point where it was like Apollo's like, you know, if you're not gonna give it to me, I'm just gonna take it, and I might have to take your life in order to get it. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to take Big E's life when he dropped them steps on his head. And then just how he just transferred into, you know, I'm a Nigerian, so you know, when he went back to his roots with his character, you know. For all my Nigerian listeners, Igbo Kwenu. That's, you know what I'm saying? For all my Nigerian listeners, if you know what that means, you know what that means. And just to see how his character has transformed into this is amazing. Big E's doing great on the promos. I know people thought, you know, Fastlane, they thought it was gonna be that blood feud match, and it wasn't really it, which I understand. But I feel like they were saving that for this moment, for WrestleMania. You know, Apollo versus Big E. You know, I think this is the first time in WrestleMania history that two black men are going to face each other for the Intercontinental Championship. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. And that's just amazing because they both deserve it. You know, Apollo's been there for years. He's been working his ass off to get his first singles match in WrestleMania. So, just like Big E, I think this is his first singles match. I know he was in a tag match in WrestleMania 29, but this is their first singles match against each other. It's just great. And I just love the storyline. And, you know, I just hope that they kill it over there, man. But I feel like it's the best feud in WWE right now, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's really, that's facts. And I think we all here would probably agree with that. Now, I have a question for you. Big E and Apollo have faced off a few times on TV, and then they had the Fastlane match. So assuming they announce it for WrestleMania, because I don't think it's officially announced yet, but we can assume it's going to happen.
Oh, it's official.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's official. Yeah.
Okay, word, my bad. Ignore me. Would you put a stipulation on it at WrestleMania?
I think you should say that for Extreme Rules, because Extreme Rules might be the next pay-per-view or maybe the next pay-per-view after that. Either way, I think we should just give them I don't know about stipulation. I don't think they're gonna give it to them, but I do think they're gonna give them some time, because like at Fastlane, I feel like they didn't get the time they deserved, and it was a false finish. So I feel like they might not give them that. They might just give them just a little bit more time to just like, you know, maybe like 15 minutes or less. You know, I think that'd be appropriate. And then maybe for the next pay-per-view, do like a little stipulation, you know, whether that's like a no holds barred or a ladder match, whatever you want to do with it. Because I feel like, well, I'm not gonna say, well, I think he's gonna win. Maybe we'll say that for the time, but you know, I don't like, nah.
Bro, Apollo taking that shit. Come on, we can say it.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Y'all.
I mean, say
I gotta my Nigerian brother. Like Apollo's winning that. Like honestly, like it's his time, and I feel like WWE is giving him this time. I feel like this is like, I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but I think this is now and never for Apollo. Like this has to work, and it has to pull off because they're giving him this opportunity to shine. So I hope he just takes advantage of this opportunity, because if not, it's gonna be like what Biggie said a couple weeks ago.
yeah, and that's a good point that you made
So,
too. That this is like Apollo's like this is kind of like his last kind of chance thing, because that's the thing with these two people, which is why I know Apollo's gonna take it. Big E does not need this at all. Like he doesn't need this at all. He still has a New Day. He can do 100 other fucking things. He's gonna be fine or whatever. Apollo needs to be a superstar that's seen as a good wrestler. That's all he really has. So this really has to be his moment. And then the way he's going about it is just like, yeah, like you can see where like he's gonna go off the deep end and really like make the move that he needs to do in that match to really win. And that shit is gonna be like, it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
for
like
sure.
a good heel win.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we watch this. I think this feud does benefit from the fact that we are in COVID, because like if this was a regular year, Buddy Murphy would be in this match, Sin Cara would be in this match. Like it would be like one of those like 8-man gauntlet eliminator matches. And I think because there is the smaller roster because of COVID, which obviously is bad, but like I think it's allowed them to focus on just letting these two people have a feud and not making it just like a scramble to get people on the card.
Yeah, I mean they've been trying new things. I mean they've been trying to build superstars during this COVID era. You know what I mean? Because there's no fans, so it's like no one's gonna be booing and cheering it. You have time to like kind of flesh out these characters and flesh out these storylines. You know, this has been building for like 2 to 3 months. You know, so which is really dope to see like Biggie and Apollo get this like important storyline. You know what I mean? It's not like they just put these two together. Like this has been building for months. So I'm glad they're getting that spot.
Big take. I think the WWE might have helped condition fans into long-term storylines again. Because I could tell over the last like maybe 5-6 years they would switch things up quicker than I would do it if I were doing it, and I saw the frequency at which they would do that, and I'm like, oh, you guys are trying to respond to like how people feel about it. But now that they're in control of the story, I feel like that's the way that people have had to watch the story. So when they come back, they'll be used to it. So the WWE might be able to just keep doing that. Might work out for them.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's a really good segue into what I want to talk about. You know, when the weather's nicer, some people in relationships. We saw New York's own A Boogie with the hoodie tell his girl to be free with the butterfly emoji. And it seems like WWE has taken that motto and just applied it to all these factions breaking up. We got the Undisputed Era on NXT. We got Retribution breaking up. And we had the Hurt Business officially break up this past Monday. And we know with factions, like it's bound to happen. Sometimes factions come together from feuding with each other and then they become friends, or they come together for some other reason, but there is always a possible breakup angle that comes, and we're seeing that in full fruition with Undisputed Era. Now we're going to get Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in an unsanctioned match at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. With Retribution, we were able to see Ali wrestle in normal clothing by himself this past Monday against Drew McIntyre, even though he got Claymore kicked to hell. You know, it's nice to see,
in normal clothing.
Yeah, right. But it's nice to see Mustafa Ali doing his thing by himself, because we know he's capable. He's proven himself capable. Like he was supposed to be the one before it was Kofi, and we were very happy for Kofi. But like they had faith to put him in that position, and he's shown in ring that he's capable. Like that match with Riddle he had was incredible. He pinned him on Raw, and they faced again at Fastlane Kickoff. Like both matches were really, really good. And then with the Hurt Business, obviously, this plays into Bobby being WWE champion, Bobby being a little frantic about Drew McIntyre and handling him and having people there to help him. And he put a bounty on Drew's head, had the whole locker room coming for him, had Drew go into the locker room and throw people around, and then he beat Ricochet and Ali within like 10 minutes of each other. And then we saw Baron Corbin come out and help his own old buddy Lashley, which was very interesting. But it was cool to see them play off of a more personal storyline, because Drew, Corbin, and Lashley had that whole trio going when they were facing off with the Shield when the Shield had their final farewell. MVP made sure to quickly denounce that Corbin is not a member of the Hurt
This is
Business.
an African-only group. That's what he said. This is an African-only group.
That nigga is not 4PF.
He's not. It was a very funny tweet, but it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. I think we'll see a Drew Corbin match before WrestleMania as well to kind of give Drew a victory going into it, because Bobby beat his ass this past Monday. He put like 3 full Nelsons on him, and Corbin hit him with the deep 6 and a bunch of other slams. So it's breakup season, but we're seeing some very good things come of it. And yeah, it's just an exciting time. So
yeah, it gives people more time. It gives some of these people more opportunities to like just compete as singles wrestlers. Dijakovic was in Retribution, Mia Yim. It gives these people more time to honestly, even like Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly. He's probably the biggest babyface in NXT right now. And then Roger Strong is like, okay, where do you put him? It just kind of leaves people questioning, like, where do they go from here? All these people are now fleshed out on their own. Where do they go now? So I'm excited. I'm interested to see what happens to these individuals in these 3 different groups, honestly.
For sure.
I have worries. I feel like we're going to see a lot of the Tucker Otis treatment, where one person from these factions is going to pop. And it's like, is Tucker alive? Has anyone? Because I don't even see him in catering. I don't even know where Tucker's at.
That's Bobby Fish.
That's
Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish. Like, well, who was the other guy? Shane Thorne. Like, I don't know. Like,
hey man. Hey, sorry, Shelton.
Sorry.
Cream rises to the top. Cream rise to the top. That's it.
Hey,
I'm
King Angle to the death of me, bro. World's greatest tag team for life, bro. But it might be over.
They
bro.
didn't release them tracksuits, by the way. But anyway, that's another story.
They do. They really do. Chan, how about you? What you liking currently?
I like kind of taking it outside of the ring, because obviously, as wrestling fans, that's what we watch. But I think just seeing some of the stuff that, like, both, I believe unintentionally, at least I hope one of these is unintentional. But the way like wrestling is trying to kind of go back into mainstream. I was actually listening to another podcast. They were talking about this, about how like wrestling, instead of like currently just like being pop culture, they're trying to basically absorb pop culture. So we've seen the Bad Bunny storyline going on for months at this point, which I have to say, as like someone who's not a wrestler, like his punch, solid. Like, like really, like I watched we'll talk about this later, but I watched the Wade Barrett ladder match. We had that bullhammer. Like, it was a good punch. Better than Women's Right, for sure. Way better than that move.
Easily.
So you got that. You got Soulja Boy Randy Orton on Twitter, which if you haven't seen the tweets, like even reading them now wouldn't do it justice. But like, just know that like Randy Orton is about that action. Randy Orton has no fear. Like, when he say he hears voices, like they ain't telling him to back down, because he going for it. And I think like if it's on purpose, I'm not sure if somebody's contacted Soulja Boy's camp. I think it's probably like the video game Soldier console, where it's like
Soulja Boy got bigger things to worry about. That's all I'm gonna say about that part. He got bigger things to worry about.
But I do like seeing like these like A-list WrestleMania, like wrestler, not even like, because you'll see like smaller wrestlers, mid-card guys pop off on internet just to try and make something happen, like the whole like Zack Ryder thing, like internet champion, whatever. But like, see someone like Randy Orton's level be like, hey, like I'll talk to you too. Like, I think that gives wrestling so much credibility, because now there's people asking who is Randy Orton, which like is not something that like regular people ever ask.
Exactly.
And then it'll be out by the time I guess by the time this comes out. But Logan Paul showing up a SmackDown, while it may not be a big deal to like, the T5 older crowd, like
the black people
and the black people, the young whites love the Pauls. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, they box, they make videos, they make pranks, they love them. And I think WWE getting that look, while like it's not something I'm interested in, I know it's good for WWE, because that means they're bringing in a whole nother group of people. If Logan Paul tells these little 13-year-olds to download Peacock and watch every single WrestleMania, we will have the smartest marked 13-year-olds in the planet. So like that is something that like WrestleMania can only benefit for, especially with, again, being on Fox, being more mainstream, being more accessible to people. Like the more you have these kind of crossover storylines, the better. And so I'm just really happy to see that. I think it's interesting. It takes wrestling different places. It's like different levels of stuff. Like you see it on like E Tonight, like Hollywood Extra, that type of shit. Like it's just good looks.
Bro, that boy Vince said y'all niggas thought I was running it up before. let me show you.
He said you got Shaq. Like. Okay. Shaq. Okay. I got big money, dog. I got South money, bro.
Yeah, I'm still spending money from '88, boy.
Nigga. It's different out here. CC, how about you, bro? CC, you on mute.
My fault. Oh, yeah, I was clicking outside the wrong thing. My bad. Nah, dude, I'm the Hurt Business one. That breakup, I totally understand that for a lot of reasons, especially like business reasons. But the timing is just like, I feel like the timing is going to send it on a path that is going to be far less greater than it could have been. I don't know what could have been, were it not for COVID and other things, and then just Drew being pushed, and that's mainly it. But I feel like there were other like dynamics that whole could have gotten to, and maybe it's possible that they come together later, and then that's like what becomes the whole thing with them. But yeah, that feels kind of weird to me because I'm worried about Cedric and Shelton. Like honestly, it could be both them niggas instead of just one. So at this point, but yeah, no. And as far as the other ones, I just like it's time, man. Like I see where they're going. Like what Shannon was just saying, like they're taking advantage of the whole thing with like COVID, like with the fact that eyes are on them right now. So they're trying to get all the eyes that they possibly can. And because they know they're going to have eyes on them, they're breaking out all these people so they can have more pieces to play with. Like when you have all these people in groups, that's small. That's like really that one group that's 4 people, but it's all like one piece that you can move on the board. You break it out, you can do more things with it. And this is how they get people. And then like, just different like TV shows and commercials, because they'll have like mid-carders and stuff like that, people doing stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a good look. I like when things shake up, so it's chaos. I like it.
Yeah. What's your what's your current storyline that you're really feeling, or just
so
anything?
For me currently, I'm just gonna start out. I'm just gonna say what the fuck it is. Nia Jax has been carrying the women's division for, it feels like, I think maybe the last 6 months.
Let's talk about it.
Now, if you let me explain to you what the fuck I mean. All right. So Nia Jax has been like, first of all, when you watch WWE, like hopefully you get the E part of it when you're watching the show. How many of the wrestlers in the women's division are good wrestlers? There's a lot of them, right? But how many of them can like get on the mic backstage or even in the ring, and they're kind of like making you react with their personality? Because Nia Jax will do that. Nia Jax just did a whole Sugar Baby skit, fam. Like, is that not like this content, like actual content, like trying to do something wild, like really getting crazy out here? And then more than that, first of all, she just legitimized Lana. Like, I don't know how to, first of all, get this nigga a medal. She legitimized Lana off that alone. All right. She legitimized Lana, which can help fuel Naomi's comeback. So that's 2 people off the bat right there. Shayna about to jump into the second part of her career or whatever, like her own individual thing. And Nia's fueling that. She pulling Reggie into the game the right way or whatever. She have all these people popping just off the fact that she just walks around and act like an asshole all the time. You got to respect this shit. This nigga's carrying this shit. And more than that, with the addition of Bianca Belair and now having Rio in there or whatever, the women's division about to go crazy, and she about to sit back and collect the cash. That's basically what's happening in the women's division right now, and that shit about to come up. We was on a little low real quick, but that shit about to come back up. And I don't care what you niggas say. Go look at the numbers, nigga. I'm 100% right. I don't care, nigga.
This is a hot take, because you said the last 6 months. Listen, we better put respect on Bayley's name. Put respect on Asuka's name. Hell, put respect on Bianca Belair's name. put respect on Sasha Banks' name. All 4 of them women done more impactful, had better matches, and had better moments than Nia Jax.
That's
the only moment we can. That's really the only moment we can really talk about. We're not gonna act like Bayley for the last 6 months. Besides what she's been doing like this past month, I know she has been really on TV. We'll talk about that probably later. But Bayley ran the SmackDown Women's Division for the last 6 months, bro. She made Bianca a star for the last year, but I'm just saying because he said Nia Jax was the best women's wrestler the last 6 months.
Right.
Bayley held in some match amazing, made Bianca Belair a star. Ding dong, hello. That's off top. Asuka, Raw Women's Champion. She's done a lot, even since May. But, like I said, Asuka's done a lot. Sasha, Bianca, these women have done way more than Nia could ever do.
So
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. I 100% agree with you. But here's what I'm saying. Look at the numbers. I said carrying, which means consistent. You got to look at week. Sasha, everybody that you name, they've had moments during these last years or whatever, but like this last year and a half or whatever. But if you look, there's like little spurts, and then they're like maybe off for TV for a little bit, and then they get like a next little like feud or whatever like that. Nia Jax has been weaving through just being an asshole to everyone, giving them time. Like why we're watching Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke on TV every week now because of Nia Jax. Like, fam,
is that a good thing?
No, I'm just saying. But here's what I'm saying. No, this is what I'm saying. Like, I respect niggas who could come up, get the bag theyself, and put niggas on and have them eat too. Nia Jax got niggas eating right now. Because if she wasn't walking around being who she is, everybody wouldn't have we hate that person to go to. Because Nia Jax is that one person, even more so than Shayna Baszler. She's the one person, and like Bayley, like she was one of those people, but like Bayley was like kind of like the Miz, where like everybody like would dislike her, but it's not like everybody's trying to go get at her right now. That she gets into these individual little things. Nia Jax is an asshole to everyone, so everyone keeps coming back, and because they have to come back to her and she gets on TV, they get to be on TV. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's just the consistency of it. She getting these niggas paid, bro. It is what it is.
She's consistent, but she ain't caring. And matter of fact, if I'm mistaken, she's not even on card. So let's move on. Let's move on right now, because Nia not even in the card right now. Right? We don't know what she's doing for WrestleMania. She on everybody else's business but her business.
There's a rumor that there's going to be a multi-woman tag team match for the women's tag team titles, as per usual. That's something we can expect at this point. So Nia very well may be on the card. I think I don't know if they're doing a kickoff show, because there is a special SmackDown edition, a WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, where they'll have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, a 4-way for the SmackDown tag team title. So perhaps they might do the women's match there, but it's possible that Nia may end up on the card. I feel like they're going to want the women's tag team titles on the card, because right now it's just the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship being defended. And I'm sure they want at least one more women's match. Am I forgetting one? No, I'm not forgetting one.
No, that was only a match.
No.
So it's very possible. But you both brought up good points. I think while I do have my qualms with Nia Jax, like, her and Shayna have been doing their thing as a team, holding the titles.
They're consistent.
And if we're going to the last 6 months, that would take us to September. That was right around when Bayley and Sasha were, feuding. Bayley ended up losing the title in October to Sasha. And then she kind of transitioned to her talk show host thing. I mean, no, she led the Survivor Series team, SmackDown Survivor Series team, and then she had her hosting thing. So she hasn't really been as active as a wrestler. Sasha,
she had to feud Bianca though.
Yes.
Bianca also debuted on around that same time too.
That's true. Very true. And Sasha, we have our feelings on her reign as champion. She's an incredible woman. She's top 5 all time in my mind. But her reign hasn't been the strongest. And Asuka's only defended the title twice, as we've talked about, against Lana and against Zelina Vega. She's Asuka though, so she always puts on a show regardless of who she's facing. But I totally see where CC is coming from with that. I don't know if I would 100% put my stamp on it and agree, but I do see where you're coming with that, and I think it speaks to the women's division in general there's a lot of different directions that they can go with the shakeup after Mania. And, you know, if Sasha and Nia lose the titles, Nia could go to SmackDown. I would love to see a Bianca Nia feud, just them one-on-one. I think that would be fire, especially if Bianca can pick her up for a power
She'd
slam or
have
something.
to. She'd have to KO Deer. It'd
Yeah,
have to.
like-
On some John Cena Big Show shit, she'd have to do
Right.
it. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity there, but man, I like having Deon here. We getting spicy. Let's jump into our free write. A couple of things we want to talk about. We actually talked about this person a little bit just now, but Bayley's WrestleMania plans, she doesn't have any right now. They would be kind of forcing something at this point because she's kind of in like a part-time kind of status. I mean, she had the division on her back for a little over a year. So, you know, she definitely could use a break. But with the year she had, it would kind of make sense for her to have a big moment at WrestleMania. A lot of people have been calling for her to host it, but as we know, Titus O'Neil and that racist white guy will be hosting it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Terrence.
What would you guys do for Bayley at Mania that would make sense? And does she even need WrestleMania plans at this point?
I would say that I know Bayley wants it, but I don't think she needs it. She's pretty much done everything that she could have done on SmackDown. I feel like the only thing that she could have probably done at WrestleMania was just have like maybe like a big like dream match. Maybe she can go against Trish if Trish was down for it, or even go against Lita if Lita was down for it, because there is a storyline with Lita, you know, because, you know, she met Lita when she was a kid. And, you know, there could be a storyline there where it's like, you know, you wanted to be like me, you know, and all this other stuff. And then you could have a feud right there. So that could have been the only thing she could have done. Because like I said, she already beat everybody on SmackDown. And I don't know. I just don't know what's next for her. I think what's next for her is like they do have a draft coming, send her to Raw, you know, give her some fresh faces over there because she's pretty much done everything she could on SmackDown. So I don't think she needs to be at WrestleMania. And I think that's okay because, you know, when you coming off a reign for over a year, you know, it's like, it's kind of like that time where, you know, you just kind of chill out and cool out. You remember like when AJ had that belt for over a year, after that, he kind of didn't have much. I know he was hanging out with the Good Brothers and he was kind of US champion, but it wasn't anything like memorable until like, you know, maybe until The Undertaker showed up and all this other stuff. So I feel like it's always that case where, you know, after you have held the title for over a year, you know, it's like, what else do you do with them, you know? But I feel like they could have done something with Bayley, but, you know, it is what it is. I feel like after WrestleMania, maybe things will shake up and maybe she'll get switched or maybe she'll have like another feud. I don't know.
I think the only thing you could have done with Bayley, to your point, I agree with what you said. I think because of that, really like her actually being on WrestleMania wouldn't work. Also because as we've seen with a lot of like pay-per-views recently, especially in this whole COVID era, they've been like taking a less is more approach and not forcing like every single title on every single pay-per-view. And so I think they probably wouldn't give her the match. I think what would be interesting at this point is if maybe, I mean, if like Holly Holm or some type of like celebrity can drop out of the earth, like the sky, she can face them. That would be cool. Like probably not Rousey, but like anyone beneath that. But realistically, it would be interesting if she was like guest referee for like the NXT women's match on like night 2 of TakeOver or something. Like her doing that kind of thing, kind of keeping the whole talk show like I'm above you role, but kind of doing it in a more like involved way of being like, oh, I built this NXT stuff. Like you girls are just trying to be copies of me. I want to watch to see what's going on. So like not like Charlotte where she's actually facing one of them because that's not necessary, but just having her kind of go to NXT and just talk trash and be like special guest referee or something like that. I think that would at this point, that's the only interesting thing you could have her do. Because if she's not gonna host, like don't force a match with Natalia on this pre-show. Like,
oh God, no, please.
Damn. Yeah, no, I agree with both of y'all just said. Like, it's just, yeah, like this is biding her time. She gets to the giraffe and then goes over to Raw and then she does some new stuff over there. And then I think, Shannon, how you set it up, that'd be a perfect thing for her to do, like to be on Raw, but like still do that in NXT. Because then it would give her time to like build out the rest of that character and then give them time to like really think of like a really good opponent and like angle for them to take and then have that person spark the beef. It would be better if the other person sparked it and like get Bayley like, you know, caught up because that would be like her they got her so fired up she got back in the ring. You know what I mean? Like they would really sell it. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. She should straight. She just chill for now.
Yeah, she's done a lot.
Yeah. I low key get the feeling she might like run out and like interrupt Titus and the racist old white dude and be like,
Please.
no, I'm hosting. Ding dong, hello. Like that would be kind of fire. So I think that's the only thing that I would hope for, and that's the only thing at this point that would make sense because it's such a short window. She doesn't really have heat with anyone right now. And even if we said, the women's division is getting better and the future is bright, right now it's still a little murky. Like there's no one who they could put her up against that I would be really intrigued by it, or like no one who I think they would have go over her to like set them up. Like Liv Morgan and Ruby, I don't know the last time we saw them on TV. Like that's something that would kind of be cool, seeing Liv face Bayley. But again, there's not really anything going right now that would point to that. And yeah, you would kind of just be forcing it at this point. So I would love to see her interrupt the racist white dude, not Titus. Like let Titus.
I was about to say,
Titus did a great job.
Yeah, we appreciate Titus over here.
If she interrupts, she's taking off Titus. We all know if she takes one person off,
Lord.
It's not the white guy. We all know that.
Damn.
To Titus always getting done dirty. Like, well, why'd the Hurt Business have to jump him like that?
He's sliding in the ring.
Q-Dog about to be upset.
Like, they're not gonna do Terrence like that.
Yo. My God. But we kind of talked about this person already, and it's been announced that he's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is Mustafa Ali. The Battle Royal is taking place WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, like we said. But beyond that, what would you guys do with Ali? Well, what's his future plans looking like for y'all?
So, I don't know if you ever heard a guy called Braun Strowman.
Oh God. Well,
but it seems to me like these are two guys in need of a partner. He's a little country, he's a little city type. Rush Hour 2 oddball pairing.
He's a little city.
I think you throw them together. You let Almost AJ get this tag titles. You go big little, run twos, and you have that. Because I think part of Ali's thing is that like his character now is a little too serious for like how much production quality the Retribution had. Like he was saying real stuff, but they weren't backing it up with anything. And so I think you need someone legitimate to back him up. And Braun Strowman, for all his flaws, and they are quite large.
Multitudes.
Yeah, he's a very good muscle. Like he has been good muscle for Bray. He's been good muscle for lots of people. And he could do that. And you kind of saw, obviously it's not the same thing, but like with him and Alexa Bliss, like he works well with small people and they can do cool moves, and there's like kind of that interesting dynamic just works. And so I think that is where because I mean you could give him a US title run, but like US title runs are a dime a dozen. Like who doesn't have one at this point? But like I think what would be interesting is putting him in a tag team where like you could really see him work on a consistent basis.
I have no other opinions because I want to see that now. Now I want to see that. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Mustafa Ali and Braun Strowman against AJ Styles and Omos. Like, and they run that back like maybe 2 or 3 times. Not what? Come on, I need that. I need it. I need it now.
I don't want to see Braun nowhere in my life. I think with Ali, man, it's unfortunate, bro. It's like he was supposed to be, 2 years ago. Right, yeah, 2 years ago at that spot. We all know what spot. He was supposed to be there, got injured, came back, didn't really do much with him, and then they put him in Retribution, which made sense in a way, but I feel like everybody knew that it wasn't gonna last long. I thought they was gonna do maybe like Retribution versus New Day kind of thing, but they didn't do that either. So it's like they broke him up. Now I don't know where Ali fits. I honestly, if I'm not mistaken, I think he has some nagging injuries too. I could be wrong, but I don't know what you could do with him. You could give him a US title run, or just maybe chill, he could just chill for a bit until you find something else. Cause I can't really pinpoint what you can do with him unless you just put him at the 205 Live, which I don't think he would want to do.
Don't do
or
that.
Even like Cedric's free, run that back. You know what I mean? They had a cool little pre-show match at Mania. Run that back. It's been there. The Heart Soul 205 Live. So something there with that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It sounds like catering to me.
he could have a good like payback match with Lashley. Like that, it could be a cute little like how Dolph Ziggler every like 18 months he's contractually obligated to get a title shot. It could be one of those joints where it's like, oh, Ali versus Lashley.
Dang, Lashley losing the title going to Ali. Damn.
The fact that you even said that is so disrespectful.
Because I'm just saying, I mean, let's be real. I mean, we already know how that match gonna end.
The issue is
Lashley to Ali.
Ali's hair is too laid. Triple H showed y'all it has to be a little rough, a little greasy.
Wait.
His hair is too silky, and Vince doesn't respect him. That's the issue.
What that got to do with
I got
some squash?
I'm saying Lashley is not gonna lose the belt to him because his hair's too late. It bounces too much. Vince doesn't like that.
All right, man.
Wait. Hold on. I got something. Speaking of, we said Bayley should go in the draft. Wait, what if like? What if Ali should go in the draft?
SmackDown? That'd be cool.
Yeah, and here's what I'm thinking. Apollo wins the IC championship. Mustafa Ali gets there and immediately goes after that. And then we get Mustafa Ali and Apollo for a little bit.
I don't like the IC. I like him in the IC title scene. You know what I'm saying? I think that fits for him.
Yeah.
I think that would be appropriate too. You know, you need more people there for the IC championship. So I think that would be cool.
Oh, sorry. Only issue with that is that it's about to be April and that's Dolph Ziggler IC champion month. So like
Dolph not losing them. Dolph not losing them tab belts. I don't think anytime
the
soon.
Dirty Dogs. He always comes around. Got to check the calendar.
Unless you got a match at Mania and they lose to the Profits, then he not losing them belts
to Dominic. I think Dominic and Ray getting them off.
Oh yeah, the father son dynamic thing.
I definitely see that happening pretty soon. Last thing for our free write. We got a lot of NXT call-ups over the last year. We got Bianca Belair, we got Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Damian Priest. More recently, we got Rhea Ripley. Who are some potential NXT call-ups you guys see happening after WrestleMania, or just over the next year?
Cole definitely is gotta be. I don't know about after Mania, but very soon, because after NXT Takeover, I don't think there's anything Cole has left to accomplish. Then go to the main roster. I think that'd be great. I would say maybe Raw. I think Raw would be good for him, because then you got Drew. Definitely. Him and Drew can do a little thing. I feel like Roderick Strong should go to SmackDown. I don't think he's not gonna have a NXT title run, and like I said, I feel like I'm being real. Kyle O'Reilly's the star. He's gonna be there for a little bit, and I think Kyle O'Reilly's gonna get an NXT title run. I don't think the ceiling was already met when they broke up. The ceiling was met. So I feel like he has really nothing else to prove, and he should just get drafted to SmackDown if there is a shakeup or a call up. You know what I mean? And then for women, I was thinking of one, and I think Toni Storm, she might get called up.
Yep.
I think Toni Storm might get called up. That's my three.
It's time.
Need
getting warmer outside.
Tony time, baby.
Tony time. Outdoor
this
show.
Podcast just took a whole different turn, bro.
Hey man.
I need to see Toni Storm versus Naomi. That's what I need to see. you know why.
Dump truck match, baby.
So what?
I need them to do the busted challenge right there. Just throw that ring. Let me see.
This is taking a turn.
Man.
This is taking quite a turn.
Speaking of bust down, I think Tommaso Ciampa needs to come up because he's completely given up. Like you can tell by the hair. The hair, it's like, dog, we get it. You do not want to be here anymore. We got it, bro. Like, I think for his sanity, you don't even have to give him no matches, but just put him on Raw because he's the man that's clearly unhappy. He clearly needs to get out of the PC, get out of Full Sail, wherever he's at, and just give him something different. Just give him a little Corbin feud. It's fine. He'll be safe. Corbin's not going to hurt him. Like, let him, mess around with Cesaro for a little bit. Like, just some spark him. I think he's got to get out of there. I personally, one of my personal favorite NXT, Isaiah Swerve Scott. If you're not going to give him the Cruiserweight or North American title at this next pay-per-view, just get him out of there. Because, like, he's one of those guys who has, like, kind of like Riddle, where it's like his gimmick is already pre-packaged enough where, like, there's nothing to really do. So he's not going to rack up belts in NXT, get him out of there. And then maybe an unpopular one, I think Io Shirai needs to get called up. I think you probably wait till fans because like I think that's like a major one because her interest is just like I think my personal favorite in the whole company, like that the way it comes in, the lights is just perfect. But I think she needs to call because I think it really juices up your women's roster, especially post Mania, where like, you know, presumably, hopefully, you know, you have Bianca and maybe Rhea Ripley as champions. You have EO be like, I've taken off both y'all. Like, which one do I want? Like, who do I want to pick? Kind of like a Royal Rumble thing, but just like off of her legacy. That's the best.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh no, I was gonna say I definitely agree with that. Because EO was my for women, for men. This is a left field, and it feels like it would take away from the core of it. But I feel like he would provide something that like the WWE misses. That like I don't know how to explain it. Certain characters back in the day kind of had it, but like he has it. Johnny Gargano, there's like he has like this kind of thing where like no matter what gimmick he's doing, or whatever, like he finds a way for it to like kind of like matter and like just enough for you to get his attention, and then like he entertains you once you actually pay attention to it, and there's like a consistency to it where he doesn't need to have like a, you know, you hit me and it cost me this match, so now you have a feud. Like no, like he can get into it over like actual like funny things, kind of like how Chris Jericho would. Like it's just like he can get into it over like some personal things, like a slide or something like that. Like because right now the only person you have who kind of does that is like The Miz. And you need more of those. You can't just have him. That's why you see The Miz all the time, because he's the only person who does that. So I think Johnny Gargano could really take it to that next level. And he got pushed up.
Gargano's a lifer.
Another like
he ain't never leaving.
Yeah, I say that Cleveland voice ain't going. But I do think a spiritual call up, like you wouldn't actually call up this wrestler, but call up this essence is like Adam Pearce can go, and you need like a William Regal type figure as your GM, like a former wrestler who like the wrestlers respect, who like when they come out and talk makes more sense. Adam Pearce, the idea is sometimes cool, but like the execution isn't. So like if you had some, I don't even know who you would have at this point. Like it has to be someone kind of recently.
Bro, the nigga be walking out with no music.
Yeah, it's like Adam, and even the name Adam Pearce isn't hard. Like William Regal, like just
bro, you had Cedric barring you up backstage, bro. Like, yo.
Talking about you, we
if you had Cedric barring you up, you might need to go.
That's facts. That is facts.
Honestly, you could make MVP GM or something. Like that type of energy would be much appreciated on both brands.
Wait, that would be great. Hold on, Channing. God damn it. All right, I'm gonna come back.
But yeah, Channing, I just want to say your comment on Ciampa. He's a lifer too, and his neck won't let him go to the main roster. But that's another story too.
That's true.
Yo, Deon is wild.
Walter might kill him too. Hey, Walter might end his life. So like it might not even matter. It might be a wash.
Yeah.
Walter gonna send him back to like the older seasons of NXT, game show NXT. Like he not
gonna
coming back to regular
DIY.
NXT.
He said, "You want DIY again?"
Yeah, he gonna send him back to no QAnon chats. What? Anyways,
my God. To get into our rewrite, the main event, with it being Mania season, we wanted to talk about one of the most talked about WrestleManias for a variety of reasons. This WrestleMania wasn't so well received when it initially happened, but as the years have gone by, people have reflected on it a lot more fondly. We're talking about WrestleMania 31, which took place on March 29th, 2015 at the Levi Stadium in the San Francisco Bay Area town of Santa Clara, California. There were 76,976 people in attendance. It was only a 9-match show. This is the first time since WrestleMania 18 that no matches lasted over 20 minutes, which is crazy because there was a Triple H match on this card. And we know Triple H will be going for quite some time in his matches.
Match is a strong word.
Yeah, that match is a strong word. I'm gonna talk about that.
There was an event, a Triple H participation that night.
He had a match and a segment, and still, the segment went longer than the match. But that's
this is true. So we want to pick. We each pick some matches that we would like to rewrite. We're gonna let our guy CC go first. Which match are you rewriting, brother?
All right, so this match doesn't even need a lot of background to know like what was going on and set the scene for this or whatever. I'm gonna hit you with a conspiracy right here. This was the setup to the whole Trump movement, if you think about it. All right, so Rusev is kicking out of WWE, whatever. He's going super crazy. He wins the U.S. title, whatever. Then he starts talking trash about America, and then who but John Cena comes out and is like, "You don't talk about America," because that's how you think when you're from that part of the country. So yeah, that happens, and then it's just like, oh, evil foreign guy, and then it's like, oh, I'm like Captain America, and then that happens up until WrestleMania. So that's basically what you got. It's like your classic, a little bit of xenophobia, nothing a little different from your regular Sunday dinner. So that's what you get going into this match. And the match is like pretty cool as it like plays out, because there's like honestly points where you think like, okay, Rusev might like kick his ass or whatever, and then like certain points where you think John might do it. But there's this point where it gets to the end of the match where that Lana tries to disrupt, Rusev ends up hitting her, and then John grabs him, AA time, and then it's time to go to bed, and that's how it ends. Okay, in my version, that's not how we doing it at all. So this is how we gonna do it in my version, right? Lana comes up to distract, right? And then Rusev goes over and he accidentally hits her. John hits him with the AA. 1, 2, kicks out right at the last second. And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what's happening. And then he like pauses for a little bit. The Lana gets back up or whatever, and she tries to come like distract again. And John comes over to be like, look, bro, like I'm not trying to be on that type of time, but like you got to get out of here, blah, 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 or whatever. And then like, she's just like still running his mouth with them. Then like Rusev sees that, and then he goes and he pushes like John Cena into Lana or whatever, pushes John Cena through the ropes out the ring into Lana or whatever. John's like messed up, but then he also like sees that he hurt Lana, and because he's supposed to be the best good guy in the world, he's sitting there like really worried about her health and stuff like that. Meanwhile, like the ref is out there trying to check on Lana too, and then like Rusev comes and like grabs John Cena. He looks over, sees that the ref is still looking at Lana, and then he like grabs like something that he had under the ring or whatever, smacks it with some illegal object. I'm thinking either brass knuckles or maybe like we crack him with some kendo sticks over the head or something real quick like that. Throw him back in there, hit him with the side kick again, hit him with the spine kick again, put that man back in the accolade or whatever. Middle of the ring, he passes out. Rusev takes it. The whole world is just shocked, and the US is really, really mad at the WWE because they just had the military thing, the commercial, like 5 minutes before this match, and yet the foreigner from Russia who supports Vladimir Putin and actually got that actually on the news for how much he was really selling that heat, man. He comes out and he actually wins it, and things go as they're supposed to go. I think that's the way it should have went, but that's just me.
Wow. Go ahead, man.
I think it was just so interesting about this match is how like people, it's like obviously Cena has bigger matches, but it's like the most John Cena of all matches. Like if somebody was like, what was John Cena's like later character, like after kind of like the Thugonomics thing, like it was like
literally this it's literally that. It's literally that.
He gets his ass beat for 10 to 15 minutes and then like basically does a Hulk Hogan impression for the last 5 minutes. And then he hits his finisher and wins. That's basically how his matches went for the next like 2 to 3 years. So
it's interesting because it's like, if you think about it, if Rusev wins this match, it gets a big rub on Rusev. And I'm gonna be real, I don't maybe think Rusev maybe leaves. Cause I think Rusev actually can stay in the WWE if he actually wins this match. Because if you think about it, after Rusev loses, there's really not much Rusev does besides Rusev Day, which came out like maybe 3 years after the fact. Yeah. And then
wouldn't give him tag titles. Yeah, they wouldn't do it.
He didn't get the tag titles. He didn't get really nothing out of it besides maybe the US title. But it was already kind of at that point, like kind of too late. He had that match with AJ, which was pretty cool. But other than that, he didn't really do much after he lost to Cena. But then if you don't have Cena win, you don't get Cena on probably one of his best runs with the US Championship. And then also too, I feel like that's when people really started to appreciate Cena for who he was. Because I feel like prior to that, people were still like, oh, Cena sucks. Now Cena gets cheered. Like, we want Cena back. Now, we love Cena now. Everybody, I mean, I was always a Cena fan. I know he had his moment, but like, everybody loves Cena now. Like, and I feel like people appreciate it because he actually was working his ass off. He was working with people like Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose, Neville, and all these other people to, build them up. And I feel like a lot of people saw that and appreciated that, the fact that, he's been doing this for 15 years, that he will take a U.S. championship and make something out of it. So I don't think you get that if Cena doesn't win. So it's interesting to see how those things turn about if one of the other wins the title. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah. It's always a wild storyline from CC, always.
Yeah.
But we love it. We love it. Chan, how about you? Which match are you rewriting?
So, if you haven't figured out what I mean by my love of Test, I'm a true fan of the mid card. I love the mid card. I love a guy who's just like consistently has a decent finisher. I'm a sucker. Number one, Dolph Ziggler, Mark, in probably the whole Midwest. You're looking at him. So of course I picked the IC title match. Looking at it, this is actually the first IC title ladder match at WrestleMania since Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon's match at WrestleMania 10. So there's obviously been like tons of other ladder matches, but actually WrestleMania is the first one, which is kind of a funny juxtaposition because the buildup between that match and the buildup of this match is like night and day. Like the buildup of this match is basically Wade Barrett had gotten the title, IC title, and basically had it then stolen from, like literally taken from him for the Raws leading up to the match. And that's basically the whole feud. Is like, you guys just keep taking this title from him, so I'm gonna give it to you. So the participants in this match, obviously Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett at the time, the champion. Then you have Daniel Bryan, your eventual winner. Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. Dolph Ziggler is Dolph. Brody Lee, aka Luke Harper, RIP. R-Truth snuck in the match. A lot of people don't remember that. And then you have Stardust, aka Cody Rhodes. So a lot of you will guess a theme that basically half of AEW's main event is in this match, which is another reason why I picked it. But just follow me on this one. So obviously with these matches, they're basically spot fest. I'm not going to rewrite the match. The main thing I want from this match is to kind of think about where these people are now. So again, this is who's in this match. So first, Bad News Barrett doesn't even wrestle anymore. He was a champion at WrestleMania. He's now just a straight commentator, like does not wrestle. I like watching the match. He looks like he's very like, it looks like a good champion, but he just, the medical, the injuries, like I'd be interested to see where his career went, without that kind of stuff. Daniel Bryan had, after that match, retired, unretired, was WWE champion, and now today is in the main event for the Universal title at WrestleMania, which was another weird thing because this is WrestleMania 31 right after he won in 30, where he wins the title. They keep bringing that up during the match. Like last year, he was facing for the WWE champion. Like, and I think they think it's a good thing, but it's like, why do you keep reminding us he's not? He's in this match. Like you're making this match seem less important.
Especially because people wanted him in that main event against Brock. Exactly. They didn't want Roman.
Yeah, it was like Michael Cole, shut up! Like, stop saying that. Again, like I said, Dean Ambrose in the match. After this, he goes on. Obviously, Shield reunites, but the main thing is goes to New Japan, wins the U.S. heavyweight title there. Then comes AEW's longest reigning AEW champion. Currently, is still kind of in the main event. Scene there. Dolph Ziggler basically doing the exact same thing as he was doing at this point. Luke Harper again, AEW champion, but RIP has since passed. R-Truth is a 51-time 24/7 champion. So a lot of you guys can't do that. Forget 16. We talk to me when you get to 30, John.
24/7, 7-11.
I-45, European.
I-95 South and Kentucky.
My main point of my rewrite is the last man, Stardust, Cody Rhodes. And I think that's where the crux of our rewrite happens. After this, as kind of like you were saying, Deon, Cena has his open challenge. That's one of the people who participates. That is Stardust, who loses. He has the feud with Stephen Amell, the Arrow, like superhero guy, who is now doing that show with the wrestling like TV show. I think it's on Star, is going to come out. So that'll be kind of that. You see where that kind of relationship kind of built up, but he doesn't really do anything. He leaves eventually. Again, goes to Japan, Ring of Honor, wins title, wins NWA championship, but most importantly, become the executive VP of AEW. With again most people in this match. So I think if you want to rewrite it, I think what you got to do, you got to let Stardust win. You got to give Cody the title because all Cody wants to do is beat Triple H. We all know that's what he really wants. He wants to just be the game. So just give him a Mania moment on top of the ladder. Let him get the belt. He's happy. Fine. After that, you let him feud with Dean Ambrose just because again, it's going to happen in AEW. Let's give it to the people now. I think what you also do is you bring back his kind of much more to his character now in ABW. That's one thing I really do like about him now is the whole like American Nightmare, like the road to him, like that's just a very cool gimmick. Like with the him being kind of almost like a prize fighter. I think bring that back. Whereas this time it's Cody being like, hey, I've done this by myself. I kind of got to get rid of my demons. He beats Dustin. The next WrestleMania 32, Kalisto beats Ryback for the U.S. title. Stardust can be in that. Cody Rhodes can be in that. Then WrestleMania 33. And here's my big, this is what saves the world, ladies and gentlemen. This is Barry Allen going back in time and touching Cyborg so that he can upload the mother box. Instead of having Randy Orton pair with Bray Wyatt to join the Wyatt family, you have Cody Rhodes join the Wyatt family. You say, I'm not a Rhodes anymore. I'm in the Wyatt family. You run that playbook back. So now you have this thing where I'm adopting this new family. And then obviously that goes poorly. Elimination Chamber, Bray gets the title. And then at WrestleMania, you have Cody Rhodes versus Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes gets his WrestleMania moment, wins the WWE Championship in front of all those people at WrestleMania 33. And AEW just doesn't happen. Because, I mean, you think about it, is there any more Chris Jericho match than the 6-man Intercontinental title ladder match? That's a Chris Jericho match. So he's spiritually in the match too. So you've essentially taken out everyone from AEW. You said Rusev's not leaving already. He's going to win. So who does AEW have? Jack Swagger? That's Ty Dillinger? What are we doing? So you give Cody, that's the rewrite. You give Cody the title in 2 years and you've saved the universe, Vince. You've done it. You've Iron Man taken the Infinity Stones out of Thanos' glove. And you say, I'm the man, God damn it. And you snap and it's done. And it's that simple.
So you said with that part with Cody and Bray is gonna be like the Flash touching Cyborg in the Snyder Cut, right?
That's where you go back and rewrite time. Yep.
Okay, well that sounds like the Whedon cut because that is definitely should not happen. I don't know. Listen, we gotta stop, bro. Cody Rhodes. Sorry, neckbeards. He's not as good as y'all think he is. Sorry.
Mid roads.
Sorry, mid roads.
That's why he never left the mid card because he's mid.
Brandy, holla at me respectfully. But no, I'm just saying, like, wow, man, Cody, bro, like, nah, WWE Championship, no, nah. I mean, I get it. It's like AEW doesn't happen. That's great. I don't know, bro. Like, bro, no. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't.
Randy can get off already. He can get off him eventually. Match sucked. So at least if you're gonna have a bad match, at least let it like save us some tweets. Like if you're gonna do it, Randy will take out Cody eventually.
If Vince ain't give Dusty the title, God rest his soul, he ain't give him Cody the title. If he didn't get Goldust title, he ain't giving Cody the title. Them Rose ain't getting no damn WWE championships.
One thing that does intrigue me about that, though, is if Cody were to get the title and you weave Randy Orton back in, you have the history with Randy Orton,
the legacy,
and Cody Rhodes
exactly,
when they were in Legacy. You could even run a triple threat, Cody.
DiBiase.
Look, Randy gonna treat Cody like Christian and lose it in 5 days. I'm not.
I would love that. I would love that
either.
That's
I
perfectly
also
fine.
booked a Carlito WWE title run, so I'm fine with 3-day title runs. That doesn't bother me at all. Again, Dolph Ziggler fan. I know it. I've seen it. It's fine.
It does happen. It does happen. But this is the usual madness from Chan, which we love here. I think our listeners love it too.
Three-dimensional chess, baby.
Yeah. The third eye is always open. Deon, which match are you choosing to rewrite, good sir?
Man, this match. If any match should be rewritten, it is this match, okay? And I feel like if you are a fan, if you was watching WrestleMania 31 like I was as a freshman in college in the lobby, Hall 14, shout out to SFA, my alma mater. If you was there, you would know that this match, Sting versus Triple H. All right, I know J5 calls him Stink, but I'm gonna call him Sting out of respect.
For what?
Hey man,
Drop it from the ceiling once. Okay.
So anyhow, hey man, Sting 97, bro. That's that. He was over like crazy. I watched the moments. I went back. I was like, oh, this motherfucker was over for real.
Yeah, so it's crap.
Hey. Anyway, so Sting. So the storyline obviously is they've been promoting Sting's return. We just debut at least. We didn't know when, but Survivor Series he came. And, that pop was crazy. I've watched back every Sting moment in WWE. Like his pops when he came out was insane. Like you could barely hear a thing. So Sting comes out, drops Triple H, helps Team Cena win the match, and then Sting kind of like ducks off for a couple months. And there was a little storyline happening between Cena and the Authority, where like the Authority comes back and fires Cena's friends. I think he fired Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback. So they fired those three, and then the Authority is like, "Hey, Cena, if you beat Seth, Big Show, and Kane, you can get the jobs back. But if you don't, I believe he was supposed to be like fired or like he was supposed to be out of the triple threat match." So that happens. The Authorities beating down Cena, obviously, and then you see Sting pop up, and the crowd went crazy. Obviously, Sting helped Cena beat the Authority, all that. So going into Fastlane, Triple H challenged Sting, and Sting accepts. Or I think Sting challenged Triple H, and then Triple H accepts, and then you got all these WCW stars coming like, bro, I don't know you don't know who you dealing with. This is Sting we're talking about. You had Booker T, unfortunately, had to come and be like, yo, you don't want any smoke with Sting. And Triple H was like, I beat your ass being racist.
At WrestleMania. What are you talking
At WrestleMania, about? I don't need no advice from you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Go spin some.
And then Rick was like, bro, I had you beating Daniel Bryan last year, and you could even beat him. You tell me you facing Sting? Oh my! I showed you the ropes, but I'm not. You gonna lose? And Triple H like, look, I'm about to beat him. Now you go into WrestleMania. Sting and Triple H, they have this match. Obviously, we all know that Sting can only do so much at his age, but. And obviously, I understand the shenanigans that came with it. DX came out and
looking like some uncles,
like some
uncles.
NWO came out for Sting's side, which kind of doesn't make any sense because Sting and NWO had a feud, and they hobbled their ass in the ring. And I'm pretty sure Kevin Nash tore his quads again trying to go out of that ring. So you had this whole shenanigans stuff, and even after all that, I'm thinking like it's clear as day. Sting should win. Sting should win. This is his first WrestleMania match, and I believe this is his first match in WWE, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it's
actual
easy.
Match.
Yeah. Sting should easily win the match, and then he loses from a sledgehammer shot. That was it. Triple H wins the match. To this day, I remember it's funny because I remember even Scott Hall was like, "Bro, who's your agent? Like, why are you losing?" The Triple H in your first match. Like Sting is only, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he like 1-2? And he's only 1-1 because of the disqualification. Like that's Sting's whole career. I feel like first of all, I'm gonna change all that up. One, Sting shouldn't even have lost to Triple H, period. No. I think everybody should say Sting, his first match should have never lost to Triple H. But secondly, I don't even think Sting should have faced Triple H at WrestleMania. I think everything happens the way it was supposed to prior to WrestleMania. So Sting comes back to Survivor Series. He helps Team Cena beat Team Authority. I think Sting and Triple H have that feud still, but you cut it off at Rumble. So I think Sting should face Triple H at the Rumble. Sting beats Triple H, right? So then the next night on Raw, he comes in. He's like, I'm finally, beat Triple H. I got Team Authority off my back. But if you want to be all honest, this is not the real reason I came to the WWE. I came to the WWE to face people that I've never faced before, to have new challenges. And there's just been this one guy.
Oh, yeah.
That has been aligned with me for 20 plus years. We've been in 2 different territories. We have never faced one-on-one. And I know he's watching this somewhere, but if he's hearing me, I want to fight the Phenom. I want to fight the Dead Man at WrestleMania. That is the match. You have Sting versus Taker at a WrestleMania. But here's the thing. I wouldn't let Taker play it off a couple weeks, have Sting come maybe like a couple times a week and like say like, oh, are you still being a pussy because you lost?
Like the John Cena one. Like the John Cena one.
Like,
Yeah.
basically kind of like call him out. Like, you supposed to be the dead man, you supposed to be the phenom, but we ain't seen you since you lost to Brock. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure if I was there a couple weeks ago, I could have beat you for the streak too. So basically do all that, right? So then you have a random Raw where Taker comes out and he's like, you challenged me at WrestleMania, I accept, right? And then as soon as you said that, you hear the bird, right? Then Sting pops up, they do the stare down, Sting points the bat to the Mania sign, points it to the Taker's face, and then that's it, right? And then, you can have like some mind games here and there, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them touch each other. Don't even let them touch each other. Just play mind games. Don't even let them touch each other, right? Then you get to Mania, right? So what I would do, I'll only have one cool spot that they should do. One cool spot, right? So Taker beat him up. He gave
so they gonna be able to do.
Yeah. So Taker gives him the choke slam, right? Taker gives him the choke slam, and then he's about to go for the tombstone. So he picks him up. Sting reverses. Scorpion Death drops him, right? That spot I swear people will pause. That spot would be crazy. So then he goes for the cover. 1, 2, Undertaker sits up. And then, Undertaker comes back, tombstone. I feel like Undertaker should go over Sting. Because I don't think it doesn't hurt Sting. And also Undertaker gets his redemption back. You know what I'm saying? He just got beat by Brock last year. I'm pretty sure like you could have this kind of thing where like maybe Undertaker's losing and kind of maybe his self-confidence. Maybe he doesn't feel like he could pull off the big one, especially against someone like Sting, someone who he hasn't faced before. Two mythic like characters coming together for one night. That would be amazing. I know that Triple H was supposed to face Sting, so I would say Triple H doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. He can still do the segment that he had with Stephanie and Ronda Rock. That's why I would put Triple H at. And for Bray Wyatt, because I know Bray Wyatt was supposed to face Taker at Mania, I would have Bray Wyatt be in the IC title ladder match. So that's how I would do it. Sting versus Taker. It's the match that they could have it was right there on paper. It's literally right there. Obviously, Sting, unfortunately, had his WWE career cut short, Seth Rollins sent him to God, but it happens. But I think that's the match. Hopefully, it'll be dark enough for the entrances. I know the entrance will be fire.
And long. And incredibly long.
It'll be long. It'll probably be longer than the match.
But I will say, though, that, like, while I agree with you 100%, the only reason I am, like, somewhat grateful that Triple H was in the match because the only other option Vince was willing to consider was Shane. And I simply would not have watched Shane McMahon versus Sting because he would have put Shane over. He would have had Shane jump off of the top of Levi Stadium and elbow drop Sting into the ground and beat him. And it would have destroyed Twitter. But like I think Vince was trying to make a point with the Sting thing of like, I bought WCW. Don't think that like we're partners. Like I bought that. Like that's something I own and I can do what I want with it. I'll make y'all come out here and too sweet whenever I feel like it. And it was my son-in-law.
It was literally that. It was literally a flex. Yeah. It was literally a flex.
And so I think that's like the only redeeming thing is that Sting actually lost to a wrestler and not Vince himself, honestly. Because if this match was in 2005, it would be Vince himself in the match. And that would have been insane too. Like that would have been an awful match.
Dang, man. Yeah. I just think it's just a match that really could have happened. Like that was there was one opportunity, that is the only opportunity where it could have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's when all the timelines aligned. That was been the perfect time for it too.
Perfect time.
Well, that was something, but I like it. I definitely like the vision. I think the pop for that would be insane. And yeah, it would definitely be interesting. So
also that would have to be the last match. You couldn't have the Rollins thing come after that because people would be too like keyed up from that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people would be exhausted. Like after the adrenaline rush of seeing Undertaker and Sting, you would be about to pass out. So when you saw Seth Rollins run down, you'd be like, "All right, bro, like, I'm so tired. Like I'm ready to go to bed."
Yeah, I would say that would probably be it. Like Sting did everything he could. He went to WrestleMania. Yeah. He faced a guy that he has never faced before that was still there. Like that would have been perfect way to go out.
Very, very true. Very true. And my rewrite, I am selecting the penultimate match from WrestleMania 31, The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. The match was 15 minutes and 12 seconds long. And my rewrite is interesting. It's a little tough to consider. Let's take it back to the WrestleMania prior to that, WrestleMania 30, 2014. We had John Cena facing off against Bray Wyatt. John Cena defeated Bray Wyatt. And obviously, The Undertaker faced Brock Lesnar, and his streak was ended. So Bray and Undertaker were both coming off WrestleMania losses throughout 2014. We didn't see Undertaker at all until he came back, and he didn't even come back to accept the match with Bray. He was just like, you heard him speaking over the loudspeaker, and like, you know, there was that graphic like when it's WrestleMania time, the man comes back, this blah blah blah. Bray Wyatt, on the other hand, had a pretty good year for himself. And even with the Wyatt family breaking up, the Wyatt family broke up for about 9 months. So Bray was by himself, and he was still pretty over. He had the whole world in his hands. Like, people really liked Bray Wyatt, and people were upset that he ended up losing to John Cena. And you could have really positioned Bray Wyatt to become a much more important character, a much more respected character. And granted, he definitely had some accomplishments. He beat Roman Reigns. He beat Dean Ambrose like 4 times over the course of that year. Held the tag titles, went on to win the WWE Championship, and helped Matt Hardy win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But, you know, there are people who are understandably very on Bray because, one, his in-ring work isn't that impressive, and he could have been made to feel bigger and more important. So with The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, Bray was calling himself the new face of fear, saying that he controlled, you know, the darkness, he controlled evil. Having him defeat the Undertaker would have really solidified that. And I think it would have also, because as much as I love Taker, we got to be honest. After like 2012, he wasn't really having great matches. The storylines were always really strong, but he wasn't really putting on good matches. Like, we could tell that hip was really getting to him, and there was a lot of other things that held him back from being the early Taker that like was athletic and doing that flying, jumping clothesline, and, you know, flying over the, like, the Undertaker used to do suicide dives, or like he used to jump
Tope Suicina. Yeah, he would just
he was jumping over the rope on dudes.
Yeah.
Like the Undertaker really used to. Yeah, he was doing a lot, and then as his career progressed and he got older, he was doing a lot more older big man type stuff and just not moving around the way that we really enjoyed him moving around. So I say the WrestleMania in having Bray Wyatt defeat The Undertaker. Now, it's very difficult to fathom Bray Wyatt beating The Undertaker clean, like in a one-on-one match. So I think instead of having the Wyatt family reunite after Mania, you have them reunite at WrestleMania. You have them come beat up The Undertaker, but that you would have to make it a special kind of match, not a normal match. Like, the fact they faced off in a normal one-on-one was kind of crazy to me, and like I watched it, and like it was a cool match. It was cool, but I feel like you could have made it a gimmick match. You could have made it a no-holds-bar match. You could have made it a casket match. Like they haven't done those in a while, besides the random Saudi Undertaker versus Rusev casket.
It's not
match.
random. That's what he wanted to say. It wasn't random. The Prince said, "I want to see a casket match with Taker. Damn, I want to see a casket match with Undertaker."
Pulled out that check and said, "You got it."
He said, "Rusev's available. He's available."
Yo, you remember that weird time where it was initially Rusev, and they announced it there was gonna be Jericho, then it went back to Rusev.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Jericho said casket match. I ain't gonna say that shit.
I'm about to go start my own promotion with Cody Rhodes. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyways, so yeah, I think it would have been cool to reunite the Wyatt family at Mania, have them help Bray Wyatt defeat the Undertaker and fully put the Undertaker to rest. Because if he loses at back-to-back Manias, like that's like, all right, like, you know, that's a sensible way to kind of send him into retirement. Even if you want to have him come back and just make appearances, but like not actually wrestles. And it makes Bray Wyatt feel like this larger than life villain who really has the whole world in his hands. Like, beating the Undertaker at WrestleMania is like a very big deal, as we know, because there's only been 2 people who have done it: Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, who are 2 of the biggest stars in the company, 2 of the best performers we've probably ever seen in WWE history. So Bray Wyatt, with how much you can tell creative is invested in him, because they keep reinventing him, they keep putting him in these feuds and storylines that we don't really love, but we know they see a lot in Bray Wyatt. So you have him defeat the Undertaker. And imagine if Braun Strowman was introduced at that WrestleMania rather than being introduced in 2015 like
Black
you have
Sheep.
Braun show up, the Black Sheep show up, and like you don't even tease it prior, like with Wyatt talking about Black Sheep. You just have Harper and Rowan there. You have Undertaker beat up Harper and Rowan and make it seem like, oh, he's gonna overcome these three and Bray's gonna win. And you have Braun Strowman's big ass come out and just step in the ring and stare him down, kind of like when Khali debuted and stared the Undertaker down and like big booted him to hell and then beat him in a match. Like if you have Braun Strowman kind of debut in that same way and you just completely destroy Taker and like send him away, rather than having the Wyatt family come out after his Hell in a Cell match with Lesnar and carry him away, you have them do that at WrestleMania. And like, and you know, with how much they love Undertaker and how great he is for business, you know that like that just wouldn't have happened because they want him to keep showing up, and then they wanted to send him out in a more positive ceremonial way like they did Survivor Series 2020. But I think if you have Bray Wyatt defeat him at WrestleMania, and there are two spots where this could have happened. So there's a tombstone spot where Bray catches the tombstone, but there's a spot where Bray is doing his little spider thing, and then the Undertaker sits up and scares him.
That's a cool shot.
Yeah, like it was a really cool spot. So you have like Bray looking scared, then like rolling over and like backing up from the Undertaker, and then Undertaker's like walking towards him, and then you have Harper and Rowan come in. If Undertaker fight them off, maybe chokeslam one through a table, and just make it look like, oh man, like Undertaker's about to do it. He's back. Then Braun comes out, puts him in the triangle choke. Maybe he has the power slam back then because he didn't start using the running power slam until like a bit later. But you have
doing like a bear hug.
Yeah,
it was like the bear hug.
Yeah, it was like a bear hug choke type thing. It wasn't cool. Like at least his finisher, and granted, a running power slam is a very basic move, but you know it's cooler than that choke move he was doing. So yeah, so I think you bring back the Wyatt family at that point. You have Braun Strowman debut. You have Bray Wyatt defeat the Undertaker. Even if you want Undertaker to keep wrestling, like the Undertaker-Lesnar feud, which happened in 2015, still could have happened. And I think with having two losses back-to-back on the Undertaker, you have him come back and like in his bag. Because when he returned to face, when he returned and interrupted Brock and Rollins' match at Battleground, he hit Lesnar with a low blow, and like that was very uncharacteristic of Undertaker. Like even if he's like he's
too
evil
big for
guy,
that.
like yeah,
way too big,
and he never needed to hit anyone with a low blow. So him doing that, like you could have had that really be like a real heel turn for him and have him be the heel. I mean, Brock was still this big monster heel who people didn't like because of what him defeating Undertaker and just his whole disposition when he returned to WrestleMania, returned to the WWE. But I think you can still have that feud regardless. Like no one's gonna be mad. No one's gonna be like, oh, like this doesn't make sense, like because Bray beat him. Like Undertaker Lesnar, you want to see that. That's always a really good match. So yeah, that's my rewrite. I think it puts Bray Wyatt in a much better position moving forward throughout his career. He's a lot more believable. You can kind of take him a little more seriously as this super villain who runs the world. He has his family back together. Like it's this kind of story of the Wyatt family coming back together to help this common goal of getting the old face of evil out and really helping Bray cement himself as the new face of darkness, the new face of evil. And I think to really like top it off, you even have Bray start doing the whole throat cut thing that the Undertaker was doing. Like you just have him just put that into his taunt set, his thing. Like he comes to the ring and does it, or he does it in the ring before he does the Sister Abigail or the kiss leading into the Sister Abigail. Like you really just have him like drag, like, yo, I beat the Undertaker, I retired him, I put him out. This is my darkness now.
You know, I thought like would have been fire, and this is what I thought at the time, because like what ended up happening. I always thought if somehow they would have wrote it in the fact that like Bray somehow convinced Kane to help him, like he somehow like has control over Kane now, and he brought Kane back. And it can be, I don't even need Kane to keep wrestling, but it can be like a one-off thing where it's like, not only am I the face of evil, like Kane's afraid of me now, like he's my like subjugate, and that's how I beat you. Because like you said, the Wyatt family doesn't premiere till later. So I was thinking, was like, oh, like it'd be so dope if Bray got Kane to help him. Because like you said, there was no, and I love Bray Wyatt, but there was no world where I saw him beating Undertaker clean. So if he has to match, he's gonna need help. I think like the storyline thing with Kane's the easiest person to write in, because Kane will pop up for truly any reason, you know. Whatever.
Yeah, and Kane and Undertaker always had those random moments where they would just break up and be feuding. Yeah. So like,
it'd be beefing. Like,
why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I think it'll be cool because if you have Bray win, you can do the storyline with Taker where it's like, okay, he just lost 2 straight. Is he losing his touch? You know, you can kind of show like a more vulnerable side of Taker where, you know, you can still kind of do the low blow thing and kind of turn him not into maybe a heel, but just like he's just vulnerable. He's desperate. In order for him to overcome what he's dealing with, he has to go back. He has to beat Brock. I need to beat you because I don't feel like Taker anymore. You know what I'm saying? And you know, obviously you can still make Taker be Taker, but you know, with his powers and stuff like that. But just give him a more vulnerable, kind of like what we saw with him and AJ.
I think you go American Badass, bro.
I was gonna say,
bring back
like,
American Badass.
Yeah,
you bring back the American, because Brock and American Badass Undertaker had some great matches early in Brock's career. If you remember, they had the biker chain match, they had the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, it was like chain on his neck. Yeah, he was in his ass.
And at the following Mania 32, you had Shane versus Undertaker, and it was, you know, if Shane wins, he inherits WWE. If Undertaker lost, he couldn't wrestle at WrestleManias anymore. And like, but then that was a random stipulation. So if Undertaker loses 2 Manias in a row, comes back as the American Badass, is like, you know, and see Shane acting like this bratty 50-year-old kid, and then is like, yo, like, this is my yard, I run it. Like, it would kind of make more sense to then put that stipulation on him, like, if you lose, you can't wrestle at WrestleMania anymore, and then you have him go over Shane as well. And for Bray, you don't have him lose at back-to-back Manias, because like a match with Cena is incredible, a match with Undertaker is incredible as well, but losing twice in a row, I feel like it kind of stifled Bray a bit. Like, but people were really into Bray, and I feel like
look what he did. Look what he did the next WrestleMania. Yeah, he wasn't even in it.
Yeah, and then the one after that, he lost to Randy. Yeah, and then he lost to Randy. Yeah, but he lost until the Fiend. He lost all his big matches. Really, like when he won the Elimination Chamber, it was truly a miracle. Like, it was like I was holding my breath. Like, how are they gonna fuck this up? How is he gonna lose this match? And then he won, but you knew, okay, he's about to lose the Mania then. But like, yeah, he was losing big matches until recently. I think, is this going to be his first Mania win? If he beats
last year he beat Cena.
I'm thinking
which was amazing still.
Yeah, yo, so I mean, man, like I'm so pissed off that didn't go into anything else, because like that, man, there's so much like more. You could have like told the rest of that story for such a long time, man. I would have loved to see like those two like just storytell. Man, that was crazy. What, him and Cena? As that match, like, and then how like they brought up all these things or whatever, and like, man, like to see that play out after the fact instead of it just like kind of ending there.
I actually like that it ended it there, because you know, you kind of like, honestly, I mean, Cena hasn't wrestled, he hasn't been back since. It's kind of like he kind of played Cena's whole wrestling career in one match. And I mean, if that's the way Cena's gonna go out, which we don't know, but if that's how he's gonna go out, I'd rather that's the perfect way for him to send him off. You know what I'm saying? Bray finally beat the demon that he's probably been itching off his back since. Because Bray was powerful as hell until he lost to Cena. Then that's what started everything.
That's like the beginning of every Bray story, is that Bray was powerful as hell until he lost to blank. Until he lost to Roman, until he lost to Cena, until he lost to Undertaker. Like, that is basically his whole career. He's very powerful.
And now look what he's doing. He's gonna get his comeuppance on Randy.
Oh yeah,
all full circle, baby.
Very similar thing with like the vignettes of like where he started, like bringing his dad into the match. Like, I hope they do that whole type of arc with him in a, like, it's not the same exact way, but something very similar.
The Fiend is basically like, I'm collecting receipts. That's basically the Fiend. I'm collecting receipts.
Fiend, don't forget.
I don't forget.
Yeah, facts. No, I love that. So that's our WrestleMania 31 rewrite, ladies and gentlemen. It's really grown on me as a pay-per-view. Not that I didn't like it, but I'm coming to appreciate it a lot more as time goes on. Obviously, the main event with Seth Rollins coming in, cashing in, hitting Roman with the curb stomp after Roman speared Lesnar. Like, whether you liked Rollins or didn't, like, him cashing in at the main event of WrestleMania, the first person to do that. It was a very highly anticipated match between Brock and Roman, and like a lot of people thought Roman might go over, and then Seth come in and just with that okie doke. It's like, shit, like, wow,
just
like,
a moment.
Genius booking. That was so fucking amazing.
Yeah,
his face also. The acting, like his face, like holding up, like that's
real
like,
emotion.
That was full real sprint, like the full sprint of him to the ring. Just that, you get chills, like, oh, like he's about to do it. Like, he's like, you can tell he's like excited. Like, no, I gotta do this shit right now, like right now.
Because they
Like,
told
yeah.
him the day of, like, hey, you cashing in, bro. I don't even think they told him in like when he arrived. They told him probably like maybe hours before. I mean, an
Yeah.
hour or two before, like,
This
hey,
is match. Yeah, just right now. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
That's crazy, man. Like,
So if y'all haven't watched
it's a
WrestleMania,
dude. WrestleMania 31 is the top 5 Mania in my opinion.
and we're going to get into that on our Patreon conversation. So if y'all haven't watched WrestleMania 31 in quite some time, definitely check it out. We want to remind y'all again to check out all of the shows on the A Show Network. The A Show every Wednesday, War Report every Friday, Spot Callers content, hit the old episodes of that. The G Show content, old episodes of that. Just general RNC radio stuff. We got The Lookout, Black Variant, Big Eyes. We got RSPN every Monday. We got a lot for y'all, so tap in. Deon, it's been a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much for pulling up, for bringing your energy, for bringing your wild storylines. You fit right in, man. We're crazy over here.
Hell yeah, thank you, bro.
Thank you guys for letting me join you all, man. I appreciate it, and definitely we're gonna run it back. We're gonna spin the block again, so don't even worry about it.
That is a fact. We hope you all enjoy this week of just wrestling content galore. There's the 2-night takeover. There's WrestleMania edition of SmackDown. There's NXT UK. There's the Hall of Fame ceremony. And then, of course, the main event of the weekend, 2-night WrestleMania, Bad Bunny versus The Miz, AJ Styles and Omos versus New Day, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Edge, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. There's a lot of stuff. This is a very, very highly anticipated WrestleMania for me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm really looking forward to it. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Rewriters Room. Thank you for joining the Men with the Pen. Leave us a review, all that good stuff. Share with a friend, tell a friend, and we will see y'all real soon.